All right, Ian Rappaport of NFL Media reports that the Washington Commanders made a strong offer to the Seattle Seahawks for Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks said, no, thank you. Now, what is a strong offer, right?
Yeah.
Who leaked that a strong offer was made? Why did they say no? Because Russell has veto power over any trade that would be made, and all he has to say is, I'm not interested in Washington, don't bother talking to them. I'm a firm believer, Myles, that the Seahawks are ready to listen to real offers from teams that Russell Wilson would play for. And I feel like this is a strategic leak aimed at continuing that conversation, making sure people know that he's in play. Pete Carroll the other day didn't say, we're not trading Russell Wilson. He said, we have no intention to trade Russell Wilson. And people think I'm crazy for interpreting those words literally. But that's what it means. If you're not trading him, you just say we're not trading him. When you say no intention, it means we may change our mind here if someone causes us to change our mind. So Washington reportedly tried. We don't know what they offered, but I think this reinforces the message. Russell Wilson is available if the right team offers the right package to the Seahawks, Myles.
Yeah, well, but in that same answer where he said we have no intention of trading Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll did say, to your point, Mike, that they listen, right? They answer the phone. If somebody wants to come out and, give them an offer that they can't refuse, then they're going to listen to it, and maybe they won't refuse that offer. So it's interesting because then there was also that clip that we wrote about it at PFT earlier this week where Russell Wilson was on the Today Show and Craig Melvin, he says, I'm a Washington fan and, would you ever consider playing out east? And Russell Wilson says, no, I'm good with Seattle right now. I love it here. It's great. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything either. But he did say, and that is like, yeah, I'm from Richmond. I know exactly what you mean. So if there is a team that's out there on the East Coast that maybe Russell Wilson would be interested in going to, it might be the Washington Commanders. So it's interesting that this does get leaked now. We are about at the end of the combine where everybody's together and they're going out at prime and they're having some conversations, and we will see, I guess, maybe with some more reporting what this offer kind of deal was, but it certainly does at least represent that maybe they really are open for business with Russell Wilson if the offer is good enough and if it's a place where he would be willing to go.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the terms of the offer were, and I'd love to know more about why it fell apart. I just think at the end of the day, Russell Wilson's not waiving his no-trade clause to go play for the Washington Commanders. Remember last year, his agent made it clear. Now, Ron Rivera is their coach, so I think that they are a good quarterback away from being a very good team, but they understand that they desperately need a good quarterback. And I talked about this yesterday on PFT Live. I don't like the fact that they got dragged for calling every team to see if their quarterback's available. People laughing at them because they called the Chiefs. They called everybody. They called the Chargers. They called the Bills. They called everybody. And you know why? Because last year, the Rams and the Lions did an inside deal for Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff, and nobody else had a fair chance to do it. And I don't know whether that was a thank you from Brad Holmes to the Rams for helping him become a GM, whether it was some sort of this is the perfect arrangement for everyone because the Rams get to unload the god-awful Jared Goff contract and it worked out perfectly. Or maybe it's that the Rams were the only place where Matthew Stafford wanted to play. But Martin Mayhew said this earlier in the week. It wasn't a fair shot. It wasn't a fair process to try to get Matthew Stafford. So you avoid that this year by literally calling every team to make sure there isn't some guy out there that maybe is available and you didn't find out about it and you didn't make a shot at it. So good for them. That's why they made a run at Russell Wilson. And who knows who else they've made a run at and who knows who they're going to get. But they're going to have somebody other than Ryan Fitzpatrick or Taylor Heineke when week 1 rolls around. That's for damn sure.
It certainly seems so. But I mean, fair process. What in life is fair, What is that? I understand. I'm not saying, Mark Mayhew, blah, blah, blah. But who cares if it's fair or not? Sometimes deals get made and you just don't get to make them. And who's to say that Matthew Stafford, who the Lions wanted to do right by, would have sent him to Washington? He didn't seem to want to go there. He wanted to go to Los Angeles. He wanted to play for the Rams. So I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but fair.
But I don't think that it was a full and fair. And look, from the Lions' perspective.
Wait a minute.
Maybe you get a better offer from somebody else. Why don't you do
What
an
is a
auction
better
for Matthew
offer?
Stafford?
Holmes was talking about the fact that they liked the fact that they got Jared Goff back because it at least gave them a bridge quarterback. Who is Washington going to send them? Heineke? They want Heineke instead of Goff? I don't know.
Hard to build a bridge with tiny little baby hands. How do you build it? But do you have a little tiny? Do you have a little tiny hammer and nails?
Stop that. There's no reason to do that. Take your nihilistic stuff away from Jared Goff today. I'm just saying that, like,
nihilistic. Somebody went to Columbia.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. That's you today. You're very nihilistic today. It's very interesting. But I'm just saying, like, the Carolina Panthers also were involved in that Matthew Stafford trade process too. So they also thought that they put together a very strong offer, and it's not one that the Lions accepted. So I don't really want to hear about, it wasn't fair. Quit crying.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.